All right, here we go. We're live. Let me know if you can hear me okay, if you can see everything all okay. Unfortunately, I can't give you the webcam today because I couldn't get it to work. I can try again, but I'm not sure if you guys would prefer to just get the audio experience of my beautiful voice. How's everyone doing? Let me know in the comment section if all is okay. And we have a very, very good live stream for you guys today. Nice bit of price action in the Bitcoin market. I can't lie, I was very nervous about my short position. I definitely have some words about that, which I'll talk to you about in today's live stream. I entered my short position at 44.2. and 44.9, and Bitcoin spent way more time up there than I was comfortable with, and it really did look like I was going to lose a lot of money. Well, not a lot, but I was going to lose some money on that, and I just had to constantly remind myself to stick to my plan. You know, a lot of you guys, you look at me like I am a trading god, or that I'm very special at what I do, and you know what? I'd love to come across that way because it would be phenomenal for business. But I have the same issues that the majority of you go through when you're doubting yourself with trades. I've just learned how to fight it a little bit more because I'm more experienced than a lot of the people who watch this channel. And I've got a great team behind me. So I think that's important to keep in mind. As a lot of people have the potential to be great traders, they just can't stick to their guns. And a lot of you guys know this. A lot of people will have the right ideas, but when the time comes to actually execute, their balls retract right up into their stomach. I wish you had my webcam right now so you could see my facial expressions. And they have no courage to do what they said they would do. It is incredibly difficult. So anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit more. This live stream, I'm going to be talking to you about this Bitcoin dump, how low we might go, if we might get a pump up. I want to break down for you what these key levels are that I'm seeing. I'm just going to wait another minute because what I actually would love to do is get my webcam working. So bear with me while I try and figure this out. I'm very disappointed that I couldn't get it working today. But I'm going to give it one last try. Okay, yeah, it's just not working. So unfortunately, no webcam in today's live stream. Let's switch it back to normal. And all right, here we go. Here we go. So thank you all for joining. Let's hit up the likes as you're coming in. I'm live streaming at a weird time. I almost never live stream at this time. But please do hit up the likes if you're finding these videos useful. I kept warning you guys about Bitcoin getting a pullback to the upside and then finding resistance in this exact range and getting a drop back down, and that is exactly what happened. If you appreciated those updates, if it helped you save yourself from some losses, if it helped you make some money, as I'm in a nice profit and many VIPs are as well, then please do hit up the likes. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on this content. The market is so hot right now, and you need to be aware of what's going on in these markets just at the minute. There are some very strange comments, but I'm gonna go through all of that in a minute. What I want to first talk about is this bearish engulfing candle that we're seeing in this market right now. So the bearish engulfing candle is what is a bearish engulfing candle? It's when you have a candle which is bearish, i.e. moving down, and it engulfs or eclipses, in other words, previous candles. So this is to say that this one candle here, stretching from 44,800 down to 41,600, has erased all of the progress from this candle and this candle and this candle and this candle and so on until we go all the way down to here. So this one candle has erased the progress of a 7% move to the upside, which took exactly 2 days. In 4 hours, oh, you can't see me. I'm holding up my fingers. In 4 hours, Bitcoin erased 48 hours of price action. That's what you would call a bearish engulfing candle. That's where we have a situation where, wait, what? I'm looking at the wrong live stream chat. I don't know how that happened. I was looking at that Martini guy's live stream chat. What? People were calling me that Martini guy. I was so confused. Can I indulge us and do a Crypto Kirby impression during the TA? Well, we are bearish, so it would only be fitting. But anyway, we engulfed the previous candles, and the reason that's significant, guys, is it is a demonstration of strength from the bears. Now, I've already filled VIPs in on this, so they know all about this, but I'll just repeat it very briefly for you guys. VIPs have the full explanation, but really what this is saying is that within a short space of time, the bears are able to erase progress that the bulls took a really long time to bring. If you wanted an analogy for this is like you're in a boxing match and there's one competitive boxer who's, not super strong compared to the other guy, and he's throwing all the punches he can and he's going really, really hard and he's making some good progress. But as soon as the other boxer starts trying, this weaker boxer gets knocked out very, very quickly. This is the analogy. Or another one is, it's like a girl punching a guy with all of her might, and he's a very tough guy, and the guy can take it very easily, and then the guy just shoves her. It's like it's not even a challenge. This is what's happening between the bulls and the bears right now that I'm seeing. They're moving down very quickly, and the bulls are moving up very slowly in comparison. But this was not unexpected. This was not unexpected because Bitcoin actually was already in a downtrend, and Bitcoin managed to fall just below a crucial support level, fell right through support, and I was talking to you guys about how that's a lot of weakness, and then it saw a big reaction rally to the upside while the fear and greed in the market was moving up. People were starting to feel less fearful as the price was recovering up. As it was going into resistance, I was becoming much more fearful, and I was entering my short position because that's what you do at resistance. You generally will take profits or close positions or enter short positions when you hit resistance levels. But actually the market generally was becoming more optimistic as we were rising into this resistance level, and we had a very quick V-shaped correction, and I think that's why we're seeing a big drop down. And this is a brutal drop, guys. This little bear market we're in is really being characterized by big drops that just absolutely smack you dirty in the face. I mean, just dirty slaps in the face is what this market, I think, has been characterized by at the moment. And, that's great for the psychology, because what that's telling me is that, there's a lot of people who on this rally, and like I said, including me, I was one of the guys that got it wrong, including me, who thought that this market was going to keep rallying to the upside. They had their dreams and hopes crushed by this drop down, and again, they were getting more bullish as we started going up, and they're having their dreams and hopes crushed again. And what that's going to do is it's really going to push a lot of people to give up, throw in the towel, decide they're out. They're going to capitulate and sell their Bitcoin. And really, that's what we're seeing here, is we're seeing people really intensely panicking. What I was saying on Carl the Moon's channel, and shout out to those of you who are joining from his YouTube channel, is that when we're in situations like this and the market suddenly starts to fall, people very quickly sell Bitcoin purely because they don't know what they're buying Bitcoin for in the first place. They're only buying Bitcoin to make money. So as soon as we initiate a small drop, it very quickly turns into a big one because people start panicking and they don't want to hold something that's going down. They only want to hold something that's going up. Very, very important to understand the psychology of the market, because even if you're not one of those people that panic sell, you have to understand that many of the people, in fact, the majority of the people in this market are like that. And so that's a lot of potential selling pressure. Of course, we have China FUD. China Fear, Uncertainty, Doubt News number 3,786 coming in, where they are again announcing that all cryptos are banned. It's just different flavors of the same news that they have been. It's like they have a button. Okay, bearish Bitcoin news. We're banning Bitcoin. Press the button. Done. Okay, here's another button. We're banning Bitcoin mining today. Done. Trigger a little bit of a dump. Is it any coincidence that this news comes right at the top? Someone was giving me a little bit of flack in the comment section saying, oh, Sammy, you don't talk about the fact that the markets are manipulated. To me, it's extremely obvious that the markets are manipulated, so I don't know why I would have to say it. Obviously these markets, obviously every market that's big enough is manipulated. Actually, especially the smaller markets are manipulated way more. So, that very much goes without saying as far as I'm concerned. But the reason I don't bring it up is, so what if it's manipulated? You don't need to care about that in order to make profits. You just need to understand where resistance is understand where that resistance lines up with other indicators, like bam, the 4-hour EMA ribbon that I was constantly talking about. Look at that rejection, guys. Look at that rejection. I was telling you there's a beautiful spread here. We've gone right into it. We're right at the top. We should be getting a rejection, and look at that. Through and through, 100% confirmed. From the bottom, we've now dumped by a further 7%, and from the top, we've dropped by nearly 10%. Big rejections. You just need to know where the rejections are, where the resistance is. You don't need to care about the news. If you were waiting for the news, you would have. There was also good news up here. There was also good news up here, which actually made me a little bit nervous with my position, because Twitter announced that they were going to be introducing Bitcoin tips on their platform. So I was actually considering closing part of my position at break even. As I was saying at the beginning of this live stream, I was actually quite nervous about my short position today. I was not so sure that it would be going well, but I had to stick to my guns, and I had to stick to my analysis despite how difficult it is. And it is extremely difficult. Don't get me wrong. It is very, very difficult to stick to your guns. But here we are inside of 4Fly's VIP telling you that it appears to be trading inside a small ascending channel on the hourly, which could cause a drop. And look at that. This is just before the big drop happened that we were informing. And I know that it's very pixelated right now, so you can't really see this, but we were informing VIPs about this pattern. We're keeping them up to date in this market fully while these market developments are happening. While the market is moving, we're telling VIP members exactly what we're seeing, exactly what I'm seeing, what I think could go wrong for Bitcoin, what I think is working really well for Bitcoin, and where I'm moving my stop loss, and why perhaps I haven't moved my stop loss yet, and then why I'm taking profits at various different levels. I've already secured some really nice profits inside of 4Fly's VIP. It's all going down right now. I told you guys about the position before I entered it. I told you guys about the position when I was in it. You guys knew all about it. You saw me talking about it on YouTube, and VIPs saw me executing it. They're continuing to watch me execute it. And while this trade is open, you're going to be getting a flash sale of 25% off 4Fly's VIP by clicking on the links down below. So we haven't actually announced this discount yet, as far as I know, but we are about to. So if you contact me right now, you're going to be getting 25% off 4Fly's VIP. This market is so hot, and I continue to plan out trades in this market. This is not the last trade I'll make. Obviously, I plan on really ripping a lot of trades in this space right now. But bringing it back to the analysis, while you just pause the live stream and follow these 3 quick steps on screen to join VIP. We have plummeted below key support levels. One of the key support levels I was seeing was $43,000, right around over here. We fell through that no problems, very quickly. In fact, we didn't even stop there on the 1-hour time frame. We then found a little bit of a grace period at the $42,000 level, but we're back below it now again. So I want to start talking to you about the potential of Bitcoin actually not dropping down further. Actually, first, let's talk about the potential of Bitcoin dropping down further. The prior swing low is right here at 39,600. This is going to vary a little bit depending on which exchange you're analyzing, but I'm looking at Coinbase, which is one of the biggest platforms in the United States. And the United States is, in my opinion, the most reliable country to look at for market data. And so Coinbase there with printing a low of 39,600. Because of this, I'm seeing a little bit of potential support right here. But if Bitcoin does manage to fall down here, I don't think the support is big. And I do think that if Bitcoin sweeps this low, we are going to be in for another further big drop. It's the same thing I was saying, where if Bitcoin gets rejected from here, we could drop down to 42, which is exactly what we did. We actually, again, like I said, we fell a little bit lower than 42. We're $800 lower than 42. I think we'd be looking at another similar big drop if we fell below 39.6. And I would be looking at the $38,000 to $36,000 range, which is this green box. I have not changed this chart. This chart is exactly the same. I think this line is new, but that's it. This chart is almost exactly the same for how it's been for a really long time with these YouTube videos. And that's because this analysis has stayed the same. We are actually still in the same position where support is at the same levels. So my point is if we do kind of get a continuation down, then I'd be looking at support down here. And from our current prices, that would be a further 7 to 11% drop. Honestly, not that bad. Honestly, it's not that bad. It's going to look pretty terrifying, if we do start printing lows like that. Obviously we are going to be sweeping the lows, and there's probably going to be a little bit of volume coming in on that subsequent dump. So it's not going to look nice. It's going to feel very uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, there's really good support down here, and I'm very optimistic about it working well. As you guys know, I'm in a short position right now, made some really nice money on it already. I'm already right now sitting in, I think, like a 45% profit or something huge. You know, so I'm very, very happy about it. Where is it right now? Let me just check. It's a 40% profit, my bad. You know, so a nice profit right there. You know, and it would jump to quite, actually, I'm curious. I just want to measure this. What would it be if I actually rode it all the way down? My average entry is 44.5. Look at that. I've entered right at the top there. Minus 14% multiplied by 5. Oh, testing my math. That's about 75% profit down to about, oh, this is very difficult. I don't know, like a 90% profit down here, something like that. So it'll be a nice profit, you know, if we start to move down to these kind of levels. But this is where I'd probably close my short position because there is a lot of support here. And the fact is, we're still in a bull market. You know, even though we're dropping down and it's not looking nice, when we zoom out, this market is still really, really bullish. We're having nice corrections as we're traveling up. This is the thing I kept on saying I want to see, guys. I want to see we're moving up. I want to see corrections. That's it. That's all I want. I want to see that we're moving up with healthy corrections. And as long as we're getting that, I'm satisfied. So I think moving down here would be a perfect correction. Honestly, it's almost too good to be true. We might not even make it down that low. And then I would look to potentially close my short position and actually flip back to being bullish and trade the move to the upside, because I don't think that we're entering a big bear market now, despite what a lot of you guys might be thinking at the moment. And actually, you know, how I tell you I want to be in disagreement with people. I'm actually hoping right now that people in the comments of my videos and other, you know, YouTubers' videos right now are going to say, fuck you, I hope we're going down to $20,000, you're wrong, you're misleading people, stuff like that. We need to see quite polarized, very extreme sentiment that Bitcoin is going all the way down to 20K in order for me to know that we're not going down to 20K. I think we're starting to get that, but you know, obviously I don't think we have it enough yet. And you know, so what I'd like to see is that this fear and greed index really drops down. It's going to update again in the next 4.5 hours. So I would like to see the fear and greed index drop. It's probably going to drop below yesterday's reading actually, this is not updated. Hang on, let me update this for you properly. It's probably going to drop below the day before yesterday's reading. Hopefully it drops below 20 and drops into extreme fear. And then I think that's where, you know, we're going to get some nice capitulation here and drop a little bit lower. That's the bear case. That's the bear case, is that we sweep this low, we drop down. I'm expecting support down here, and I think that's where it's going to be over. The bull case is that Bitcoin actually finds support around here, which we're doing right now. Look at this on the 1 hour time frame. Actually, let's look at this on the 15-minute time frame. We are finding support down here. Well, I mean, the thing is, if we zoom in and we really take a closer look at this, we're actually just forming a classic continuation pattern. Remember the staircase pattern I always talk about? We're doing that. You know, we've already done this quite a few times. You know, sometimes the staircase stairs are angled up. Sometimes they're just literally sideways, like right here. Other times they're kind of ranges, which are also sideways, like this. So we're in another staircase step right now, the way I see it. This can obviously just zip right up. I think it's very unlikely, but it's definitely possible. And if it does zip right up, then I think that what that's going to mean is that Bitcoin is actually in a sideways trading range, which might look a little bit like this, taking us into October. And this would be quite a long-term move. This would also be a correction. And right now we're in a bearish trend. So a correction would mean we're going to be trading sideways with time, and this would give enough time for the market, for the smart players in the market to accumulate. And really just to let you guys visualize what would happen here is, obviously there's a lot of pain that we're experiencing right now with Bitcoin dropping down to the low $41,000 range after literally being at 45,000 just, you know, a few hours ago. There's a lot of pain that we're experiencing in the market right now. And that's going to really be compounded by people who don't really understand what's going on if we trade sideways. And it's just going to feel absolutely terrible that, you know, we've suffered big drops, and now it's going to feel like the calm before the next storm where the price goes lower. But actually, I think if we did start trading sideways, this would be where the smart players start accumulating again. And then I would be expecting a move to the upside. And it paints the typical scenario where, despite your best judgment and how good you think you are and how much you think you have an edge in the market, you're just going to end up selling at the bottom and then being left when the train, you know, being left behind when the train departs again. That's why it's very stupid to panic sell or panic buy in any situation. Obviously, it's very difficult. I mean, it's much more easier said than done, but you do have to avoid those things. But yeah, that's why I'm seeing a potential kind of sideways range here. If this sideways range goes on for a short period of time, though, then actually what's going to happen is, yeah, resistance is going to catch up to Bitcoin. Resistance is already catching up to Bitcoin. If we zip up now, we're already going to be looking at resistance at lower levels. And if we go to this resistance within just the next 4 days, the resistance starts at about 43. So If we're able to hold on to this for a long time, I'm talking 1 or 2 weeks, beyond 1 or 2 weeks, then I think we're bullish. Right now, the window of opportunity is very much only with the bears, in my opinion. And I think there's a lot of resistance that's going to be catching up to the market because of these drops. I mean, this is the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud. This is the 4-hour EMA ribbon. It's all angled downwards. All of the momentum is bearish for Bitcoin right now, the way I'm seeing it in this market. We take a look at the daily timeframes, and there is some support here. So this really does support what I'm saying, where if Bitcoin can hold this level and form a time-based correction, then that would be enough to correct the trend from moving downwards and then form a nice rounding bottom shape, and we start blasting up towards $60,000. That's the two scenarios I'm seeing both ways. I think Bitcoin is definitely starting to become more bullish now because we're really washing out a lot of the weak hands. We're washing out a lot of the new blood. We can either reset the market by dropping down to a level like this or by trading sideways here. And in both cases, I think we're going to start seeing some really nice support. This is why I'm not worried. It's not productive to be worried, first of all, but also it's actually, we're in a really good position in this market right now. We dump a little bit lower or we trade sideways, and either way, the way I'm seeing it, things are going to start looking rosy. Obviously, it might get a little bit worse before it gets better, but at the moment, I think we're in a pretty good spot. On the daily time frame with momentum, unfortunately, it is also bearish. This is concerning to me. We did get a rejection. I was warning you guys about this rejection as well. Guys, this channel has been literally 100% accurate over the past couple of days with this move. I've made a lot of money on the way down, and I've also called the moves up. If you found that stuff useful, I would really appreciate if you can click the like button, click subscribe, and all of those things. It helps the channel out a lot with the algorithm. Obviously, this is super realistic, grounded analysis, and it shines really nicely on a day like today. But most of the time, people are completely unreceptive to this kind of analysis because it requires them to doubt themselves and it requires them to challenge their belief systems. And that is obviously incredibly difficult for anybody. But your little clicks will really go a long way. So if you're finding it useful and you'd like to, do something to thank me for it, and you don't have to, obviously, but these little clicks go a long way for that. So I do appreciate you all. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm going to start going through your questions in a minute, and also going through some of the altcoins, because I know you guys have a lot of questions about those things as well. Just want to remind you guys very quickly that if you're looking for a platform to trade on, Bybit is always the place to be, in my opinion. I've been using it for years. I've been working with them for years. And when you sign up using my link in the description, you're going to be getting some free cash deposited into your account as a reward for signing up using my link. So make your first deposit using my link. You'll get some extra money for free. You can remove your deposit risk-free, obviously, and you can keep the free money. You can trade with that. If you want to join 4Flyers VIP and see how I've been trading this market, because it has been going really, really well. Here's a member with a $200,000 position left after hitting his 4 of his profit targets. He is still in a very, very nice $30,000 profit. I've shown you a lot of the smaller profits that VIP members have enjoyed lately. Here's an example of someone with a much larger bankroll seeing a very nice gain as well. So we've got a 25% discount on 4Flyers VIP right now while my trade is open. I don't know how much longer it's going to be open for. So if you want to take advantage of it right now while it's so hot, then click on the first link in the description down below. Click on my name at the bottom of any post inside of 4Flyers Gold, and then click on send message. Do this right now. Pause the video. My assistants are all online right now. You guys are already getting responses. I can see a lot of you have already reached out. So that's your way to join if you are curious. Let's move back to the charts very quickly though. Another thing I want to highlight and bring to your attention is that Bitcoin very well could get a small bounce here as a reaction rally. This dump was very big, and it's the same thing I always say, guys. No matter which direction we move in, if we're moving down, we need reaction rallies. If we're moving up, we need reaction rallies. We need corrections. So, we had quite a nice sustained period of upward price action. I've shown this to you on the 8-hour time frame because it's very obvious. It's just almost completely straight upward price action in a staircase to heaven. Just a nice, a perfect price increase would look a little bit like this in terms of the angle of attack. Our current, our previous price action was a little bit more aggressive. It was a steeper attack than, a 45-degree angle. But in any case, I was saying that we need a correction, but it applies in the other way as well. So, you know, we saw a big drop. We're already getting a correction. We bounced off 40,000, 40.6, which is exactly where my support range ends. So again, very, very accurate analysis right there. I would like to see a little bit of a bounce. I would like Bitcoin to find a little bit more of the resistance around perhaps $43,000. We used 43 very nicely as support recently in the market. So to be able to come back here and find some resistance would be phenomenal. It would be so healthy for the market. If we look at the Ichimoku cloud, we have quite a lot of resistance right here. So this would make a lot of sense if Bitcoin were to kind of, you know, pump up over here and then trade downwards. Alternatively, it might just end up trading sideways for the next, you know, day. And then we see a little bit of a drop. But either way, you know, obviously when it rains, it pours for Bitcoin. And the primary concern for Bitcoin right now, in my opinion, is sweeping this low. If it comes back down towards 39.6, I'm going to be very concerned because this isn't actually a real support level. The real support is at 40,000 in my opinion. And so if we do drop below this, I think we're going to be looking at a further drop of potentially a couple $1,000s. And obviously that can be quite concerning. Now the worst case scenario, which I definitely don't think is going to happen, is that Bitcoin breaks below this support. And if Bitcoin loses this support, then the only other support that I'm seeing for Bitcoin is kind of like, you know, just roughly around the $30,000 range. So, I mean, this is even a bit too high in my opinion. I mean, this support range isn't actually this big, but I think it does potentially stretch down to about 29,000. It's just this area here is the next big support. The first big support was at 40. You know, we've lost that or we're about to lose it potentially. There's mediocre support right here, but I genuinely would expect this to be the bottom. I would be surprised if Bitcoin fell below this, but if we do fall below this, this is the next area that I'm expecting support at. And if we fail this area, then I will start talking about $20,000 again. Again, I would love for Bitcoin to go down here. As much as I am bullish, this would be a phenomenal buy area. I would really enjoy buying Bitcoin over here. And I've told you guys before, I would even consider selling my house to do that because it would be such a great buy-in level. I mean, I would buy Bitcoin down here if it was possible. And I mean, almost immediately, I would expect to triple my money within like a month, you know, and that would be really, really nice. So, you know, I'm not saying that's going to happen. It would be absolutely amazing if it did, but honestly, I don't think it's likely that Bitcoin goes down that low. But before we get there, we have a few key support levels to break. The key level to break for Bitcoin now is going to be at $45,000. And that's just because each time we drop, we're setting new lower highs. And this is actually the other thing I was warning you about on this channel, is that we've set some very clean lower highs. You know, the first one was at 49. I'm sorry, the first one was at 53,000. The second one was at 49. And the third one, obviously, now is at 45. So the key level to beat now is 45,000. As soon as we beat this level, we're no longer in a short-term downtrend. In my opinion, and we have some nice potential to rise up. If we stay below anything below this level, we're going to be, you know, at best neutral and more likely bearish in my opinion. But then anything above, I think there's going to be a little bit of hope, and I would expect Bitcoin to challenge 47. If we recover above 47, the next key level would be 49. If we recover above 49, I think we're going straight to 53, and I think if we manage to get that high, we're probably going up to 60 and far beyond. So that's my bullish scenario as well outlined for you guys right there. I do see all of you reaching out for VIP right now. There's a lot of messages. Don't worry about it. You're going to get your responses within like less than 2 minutes because we've got quite a big healthy team now. Those of you who've been around for a while, you've watched our team grow, which is really, really cool. And I just want to go through some of the other notes I have before I start going through your questions. If you do have questions for me, make sure that you drop them in the comments and actually write my name. You have to write 4 flies in your question. Otherwise, I'm just going to miss your comment and I'm not going to see it. Thank you all very, very much for hitting the like button, by the way, for subscribing, for showing the channel some support during this time. I know this is going to be scary for a lot of you guys right now, but hopefully you're starting to see that actually there's almost no cause for concern right now. The market is still in a very healthy place. The market is still in a good place. We're still in a good long-term uptrend. There's still a lot of support. Even if we drop lower, there's a lot of support. That's the beauty. That's what happens when Bitcoin moves up massively and it trades sideways and it gets corrections, which is what we've done many times throughout this year. We're going to paint support levels, and that's the thing. We have so much support to help Bitcoin stay up right now that even if we do drop by another few $1,000s, Bitcoin still cannot be bearish in the long term, just going off the way I'm seeing it right here. So let me go through my other notes, make sure I'm not missing anything before I start switching over to your questions. bear with me. Oh, the descending triangle, man, this is something important to bring to your attention. While I definitely don't think we're in a big bearish pattern, I do think there is some potential that things can get pretty bad. Oh, yeah, and by the way, look at this, the 0.618 Fibonacci level. This says everything in my opinion. This 0.618 Fibonacci level, if we draw it from the bottom up to the top, is right at $38,000. This honestly says everything. This is basically saying that if we measure the height of this rally, if we fall down by 61.8%, of the height of this rally, if we fall down by 61.8%, it's going to put us at 38.2. And 61.8% is a significant number because it's part of the Fibonacci sequence. I'm not going to explain it to you, but if you don't know about it, you can just Google it. We do have a lot of information about this inside of the Four Slides Academy, which many VIP members get for free. You know, you're not just getting access to seeing me trade and getting all the exact entry levels I'm using and why I'm choosing them and, you know, my stop loss and the real-time updates on my trades. You're also, a lot of the time, depending on which plan you're getting, you're also getting full access to my course where I'm teaching you how I trade from start to finish. Literally, you could be a chef, you could be someone in a completely unrelated profession. I'll teach you what all the buttons do. I'll teach you exactly what I do and how I do it and where I do it. I'll teach you all the concepts and then how I carry out my analysis and how I pick good trades and how I manage my risk. It is everything from A to Z, beginner to my level. I'm not going to call myself an expert because I don't know what level I'm at, but if you think my level is a good place to be, then I'm teaching you how to get to exactly my level of proficiency in these markets. And it has been phenomenal for so many people inside of Four Slides VIP. Very, very good place to be at the moment. Definitely in this market. So yeah, nice support right here. The other thing that I have to bring to your attention, and actually I'm going to use a different chart for this. Let's actually delete this chart now. We don't need this. Is the potential big descending triangle that Bitcoin is in right now, which looks a little bit like this. Now, we haven't actually done enough to confirm this yet, so I still can't say that Bitcoin is actually in this descending triangle. The reason for that is we only have 2 hits of resistance and 2 macro hits of support. If we zoom in, we actually have quite a few more hits of support. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but on a more macro level, there's only 2 big times where we hit the support and only 2 big times where we hit resistance. Obviously, the more tests we get, the more it's confirmed. So if we were to hit resistance again in a couple of months, in a month or 2, a month and a half, then it would be a very, very nice confirmation. Obviously, it's way too far away to see if that's actually going to happen. But if we are in this descending triangle, and basically, let's say if Bitcoin does fall down here and it does get rejected here again, that would be very, very bad. And this is just to show you that right now we are forming this pattern. Doesn't mean we're going to follow through. We can very well break out of it now to the upside or to the downside. It doesn't matter what your opinions say, and it doesn't matter where your investments are. The downside is also possible, and we must entertain that idea because of that reason alone. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's actually going to happen. It is worth noting, though, that we are following through with it. So this is something I'm keeping an eye on. Bitcoin loves to form descending triangles. I've shown you a lot of examples of that, which you'll know about if you are a regular viewer of this channel. So I'm not going to refresh you all on that now because I don't want to bore people in this video, in this live stream. But yeah, that's something that I'm definitely seeing as potentially being problematic for Bitcoin. I'm not too concerned about it. Another thing which I am seeing, though, which is actually quite bullish, is that Bitcoin is potentially in a wedge that looks a little bit like this. And this is admittedly not a great wedge, but it is a wedge nonetheless. So it's worth taking note of. And it's basically showing me that Bitcoin is moving up, and now it's in a falling wedge, and it's going to keep moving up again. This is actually exactly what I think Bitcoin is in, to be honest. You know, I just don't think it's in. I don't think you can draw it this clearly. But broadly speaking, when we zoom out, what I think Bitcoin is in, like, and what I think is way more likely than any other theory right now, is that this is the true movement in the market. All of this was just a correction from the big rally up to 65,000, because this was a very big rally, a very unrealistic and unhealthy rally. So all of this was a correction, and now we've reinitiated the uptrend, and we're just correcting it right now. I just think we're correcting it, and then we're going to continue going higher. Obviously, I think we can slip a little bit lower, but I still think we're going to be moving higher, and this is what I think is overwhelmingly more likely in the market right now. And I mean, if you wanted a probability from me, I would honestly say I think this is like a 90% chance of being the case, which is that Bitcoin is in one of those classic Classic staircase patterns. It is so convenient how often this form of analysis, which is so simple, ends up being true. We're, like 40 minutes into this live stream, and I've only shown you 2 indicators. That's how simple I keep my analysis, and that's how simple you can do your analysis as well, because you don't need to overcomplicate it in order to carry out the right analysis and see the right things in the market. You just don't need to. It's not necessary, and hopefully you're seeing that many VIP members see that as well when they watch me trading and analyzing in real time. I'm going to head over to your questions now, and once I'm done with your questions, I'll go straight to the altcoin market as well and give you guys my views on that. If you're enjoying this live stream so far, like I said, please do smash up the likes. Thank you so much for doing so already. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. You guys know the drill. Let me pull up your questions and see what's going on right here. Again, please make sure you actually write my name, otherwise I will not see your question. So please start dropping them now. Forflies, what alt would I expect to triple my money from here? I think Ethereum is a great candidate because it's safe. And Ethereum is actually in a very, very nice position right now. It's losing some value against Bitcoin. Ethereum is at about 2,800. Honestly, I thought it would be lower than this by now. I'm very, very bullish on Ethereum, and I think Ethereum can hit crazy price levels like $4,000 is easy. That's basically the all-time high, but I think it can get to, you know, $5,000 and $10,000. So that's not tripling my money, but it is doubling. And actually from here, it would triple my money if it goes to 10K. So I'm very, very bullish on Ethereum. Also Cardano, I think looks really, really nice. Cardano is at $2 and it only needs to go up to $6 in order to triple my money from here. I made a video about Cardano yesterday, so you can go back and watch that. I'm very bullish on these 2 altcoins. Why? Because I think they have projects which the market is interested in. I'm not interested in them, but I think the market is. And they're proven. They've stood the test of time, more or less. They're big, so they're safer. They're less subject to manipulation than the smaller ones. And most importantly, I mean, summarizing all of that is that I think they're safe. And that's what's more important to me than anything else. I'm not willing to put my money in shit coins, and just, kind of let them ride up when they're not proven. I'm only interested in playing and trading the proven things because I have money that I want to protect. If I didn't have money that I wanted to protect and I didn't care, which honestly, I've never been in that position, but if somehow that was me, and I wasn't in that position when I was poor as well, when I was younger and I was poor and I didn't have money, I still wasn't like that, I mean, I was actually, but it was for a very brief period of time, and then I realized how stupid I was. So that's why I prefer to go for these safer routes. I see you guys are writing my name, but actually it's not highlighting your comments. You actually need to write @Sammy, because I have changed my YouTube channel name to say my real name now, Sammy Loyal -4flies. As many of you guys know, Sammy Loyal is my real name. And then the -4flies is just so you guys remember who I am, basically. Okay, so let's go through the next questions. My thoughts on Elrond. I have no thoughts. I haven't actually looked at it much. Take a look at the dollar. Sure, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's see what the dollar is doing. The dollar has moved up quite nicely. So yeah, I mean, obviously that coincides with Bitcoin. It's a very clear negative correlation, guys. When the dollar is down, like over the past couple of days, Bitcoin was rising up, but then when the dollar starts rising up again, Bitcoin starts dropping. It's a very, very clear inverse correlation. No surprises there at all. No surprises. This is exactly what we would expect. My target for Ethereum, 3,200, 3,100 is my first main target, which is only about 10% away. Beyond that, I'm looking at 35, and beyond that, I'm looking at 4,000. What's my end of year price prediction? I don't do end of year price predictions, although I might do it because you guys are asking me so much in a separate video. But the primary reason that I don't give you guys set date price predictions is because it's incredibly stupid to entertain ideas like that, in my opinion, for one simple reason, which is that in order to tell you what the price of Bitcoin will be on the 31st of December, I need to first tell you what the price of Bitcoin will be on the 25th of September, and then the 26th of September, and then 27, 28, 29, 30, and then I need to know what the price will be in October and November and December, and then the end of December. Which is basically me saying that I need to get so many more predictions correct before I can know what happens on a set day, which is 31st of December. That's why I never, ever, 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 ever entertain price predictions like that. What I do know, though, what I do think strongly is that while Bitcoin is right now in a short-term downtrend, I think that this short-term downtrend is not going to last very long. And I think that, you know, when we go bullish in this market, we go bullish very, very quickly. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin was above the all-time high by December, by the end of this year. Yeah, I definitely would not be. In fact, I'm expecting Bitcoin to be above the all-time high by the end of the year. Let's see what else we have here in the comments. Is AVAX going to be affected? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. What needs to happen for the bull run to be confirmed? Well, I mean, I've already covered this briefly, but I would like to see Bitcoin rise above our prior swing high at 45,000. That would give me a lot of confidence. But it's not like there's just one, you know, switch that gets flipped and then we're super bullish. But one of the big ones would be if Bitcoin flies above 45. That would make me think that we're going to be rising up. Beyond that, I mean, the next key level to beat would be 47, and then 49, and then 53. And just each time we break each of these levels, I'm going to gain a little bit more confidence that Bitcoin is going to rise up. And rising above 53 would be the big confirmation that we're going major bull. But obviously, before we get there, I'm going to have a much better picture of if we're going to get there anyway. So the first key level is 45. A lot of you guys, you do want longer term analysis from me, but the fact is, and I'm very vocal about telling you guys this, you know, you don't need to tell me, I already know. My strong suit is not long-term analysis. I'm not a long-term analyst. I don't try to be a long-term analyst. And it's primarily for, it's for two reasons. Number one, I'm not good at it. But number two, I can't make money from it quickly. I want to make money right now. I'm in a nice 40% profit, and I'm trying to see how can I make 2, 3, 4, 40% profits in a month. That's kind of my goal, because that is going to double my money every month, and that's going to be absolutely phenomenal. What I'm not interested in is making a price prediction for the end of the year, because I'm only going to know the answer at the end of the year, and that basically wastes 3 months of time, and I might even be wrong. So I would rather learn my lessons quickly and very quickly move forward to compounding my gains. And that's why I'm primarily a short-term analyst, and that's why I don't even entertain the ideas of what's going to happen in the long term. I just don't care, because I can't make money from it in the short term. In that sense, I am quite an aggressive trader. What do I think on a theory of that Bitcoin will not reach the all-time high this year? I certainly hope that a lot of people start thinking that that's the case. I really hope that people think Bitcoin won't reach the all-time high, because if it doesn't, then I'm sorry, if people do think that, then it almost definitely will reach the all-time high, in my opinion. So those are my thoughts. If people are screaming Bitcoin's going back to 65k, then the likelihood that we actually do is quite low, in my opinion. ADA has bounced back strong. Let me take a look at ADA. It's down by 6%. Let's see how much it bounced by. It fell down to $2.06, went up to $2.30, and is now down to $2.18. I still don't have anything to say because it hasn't reached my areas of support, which are $1.88 and $1.50. Let's see what other questions we have here. I don't hear you discussing Bollinger Bands as a buy and sell indicator. Why not? I hate Bollinger Bands. I think they're extremely useless. I think they're one of the worst indicators ever made in crypto. No offense to the guy who made it, but I absolutely hate them. Actually, they're not made in crypto, but just made in general. I think it's one of the worst indicators I've ever seen. Probability to reach 38k? Very high. I think it's like 70%. I think Bitcoin's very likely to go there. I mean, nothing's guaranteed, but you know, I would love it if Bitcoin did go down there. It would be, I would more than double my money, I think, if Bitcoin, no, I would nearly double my money if Bitcoin went down there because of my short position right now that VIPs have seen. Let's see what other questions we have. Thoughts on Algo? I have no thoughts. I'm sorry. I don't look at that coin. Solana. Let's take a look at Solana. I was talking to you guys about Solana. I was telling you guys that we're probably going to hit this area of support. Old support, and turn it into resistance, and then we're probably going to drop down. We're actually just in the middle of it right now. We're hanging on by a very, very little needle, a little thread. If it does get worse, I think we're looking at a big drop. 100%. I think we're looking at a big drop if it does get worse from here. Yeah, those are my thoughts pretty much. How much is my offer at minus 25%? If you want the full information on Forflies VIP, you can find out how to join by following these steps. We'll send it all to you within 2 minutes. So we don't talk about it here because we can give you, phone calls and stuff like that. And you can get all of the information properly, because I'm not trying to make a massive sales pitch right here. We'll just hand you all the information. You can read it inside of 2 minutes just by following these 3 quick clicks on screen. Forflies, why isn't this seen as denial? Bear market, dead cat bounce from all-time high. I don't think we're in a dead cat bounce, because a dead cat bounce is usually a lot faster than this. If we were in a dead cat bounce, it would look a little bit more, let me show you. A dead cat bounce would look a little bit more like this. This is the move up. This would be a dead cat bounce, and then we're right down, like really, 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 really low. Obviously, we didn't get that. It's been, how long has it been since the next high? It's been 150 days since Bitcoin set the all-time high, and then until it reached the high at 53. It doesn't take 150 days to form a dead cat bounce. A dead cat bounce would usually be within like a month max, maybe 2 months if you're really pushing it. But this instead was 5 months. So this is definitely not a dead cat bounce. And it is precisely because Bitcoin took so long to get back up to 53 that I think we're still bullish. This means we're moving up in healthy ways. We're correcting our moves up. Look at this. This is so healthy. Guys, I want Bitcoin to go up. I want Bitcoin to break the all-time high. I want it to go above $100,000. But the only way we're going to do that is if we have healthy corrections. And look at this. We took so long to challenge these highs again. And now that we're challenging them, we're having pullbacks. This is great. A lot of people call me bearish for saying stuff like this, but I actually think I'm way more bullish than those people, because I'm telling you how I think Bitcoin will realistically go to those levels, and other people are telling me that it's just going to go up in a straight line. Those people are not bullish. They are fucking deluded. That's the God's honest truth, is they are deluded. Like they are incapable of exercising any level of objective thought. If they think that an asset can just keep rising up in a straight line, it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. When it happens, ladies and gents, may I remind you, when it does happen that we rise up in a straight line, this is what happens next. And I don't like this happening. I would rather get smaller corrections like this than big corrections like this. That's just my opinion. I don't know about you guys. I like that more. What's my opinion on DOT? I have no opinion. Do I think we can set a buy limit for 38k? I'm not your financial advisor, so I won't answer that question. What do I think on Ethereum? I've already answered that. What do I think about the long-term lower trend line from 2020 as a possible bounce target? I have no idea what that is. Can you remind us where I sold my Ethereum to buy a house and pineapple pizza? With pleasure, Adrian. Yeah, I'd love to remind you guys. I sold half of my Ethereum when it was up here. I did sell it against Bitcoin, so I have to give you this caveat. I would love to take credit for selling it at $4,000, but it wasn't at $4,000. It was when Ethereum was here. It was at this time, but I sold it into Bitcoin, not into dollars. But this was where I sold my Ethereum because, and it's the same thing that I warned you about when Ethereum was up over here, is that these coins really drop very, very badly. You guys have seen it on this channel if you've been paying attention. If you're just watching one video and you're paying attention to the titles, and obviously the titles are a little bit dramatic sometimes, you're not getting the full picture. But if you actually watch these videos, we've been on point with where these markets are going to start reversing. I sold my Bitcoin up around here to buy my house, right? To buy my house in Dubai, I sold my Bitcoin up around in this range. So we've been really, really good in Forflies VIP at calling these tops and then getting back into the market. And that is something I take a lot of pride in. So yeah, sold my Ethereum up here. The next time I warned you Ethereum is probably going to drop a lot was right over here when it was trading at 4,000. It's right when you don't want to hear it. This is the thing, and that's why a channel like this kind of struggles to grow compared to the other bigger channels, is I'm not feeding you information that you want to hear. I'm feeding you information that you need to hear. And obviously, I'm going to be the major bad guy, just like Crypto Kobe. He gets a lot of hate, because he tells people things that they really don't want to hear, but he ends up being correct so often because of that. At the end of the day, And I keep on saying this because a lot of people, they're in crypto and just look at yourself dead in the mirror and ask yourself if this is you. They're in crypto and they're in these communities and they just want to feel a sense of harmony, a sense of brotherhood, right? Everyone's fucking lonely, coronavirus pandemic. No one has friends anymore, even before the pandemic. Not like before. There's no real camaraderie that we used to have before the internet age. Or there obviously is, but it's way less than before. So people want to find that community online. And one of the ways that crypto traders do it is by, jacking each other off to price predictions of Bitcoin going to $1 million. And, I'm sure that's fun and that's going to give you great pleasure. And while you're at it, you can also shoot up some heroin as well because it's going to achieve the same fucking objective. It's going to achieve the same result. But at the end of the day, I'm here to make money. I would rather be rich, not have friends in this trading market. Obviously real life is different, but when I'm a trader, I'm here to make money. I'm not here to make friends. And that's the same thing with people like Crypto Kirby, who are consistently right about the market at these major downturns, but obviously because of that, very, very unpopular. You guys need to keep that in mind because, now you can learn this lesson, but next time Bitcoin starts ripping to the upside and potentially hitting resistance, are you going to be the headless chicken running around being excited that Bitcoin is going to $1 million again? Or are you going to be the person that stays calm and collected with a cool mind and doesn't buy into the hype? Because those are the people that make money. Those are the people inside of 4Flies VIP joining us with our beautiful 25% flash sale that's running right now. I don't know how long it's going to last for because that sale ends when I close my trade. Here we go. Let's go to the next question. 4Flies, what do I think about the dollar being up and the stock market opening? Will Bitcoin dump more? I've already covered this pretty much. Stock market, I think, will do whatever Bitcoin does, broadly speaking. Actually, the other way around. I think Bitcoin will do whatever the stock market does. 4Flies, what needs to happen for the bull run to be confirmed? Like I said, we need to break some of the highs that we have. What do I think about a blue buy hash ribbon? I have no idea what that is. Ethereum's current short price target, 2,500. I think Ethereum can drop down to 2,500. Can I check out QNT? Not at the moment. What about the head and shoulders with the all-time high? Nope, not interested. Can I talk about XRP? Nope. I wish I could show you my face. Someone's commenting about that, but I've had some technical issues before this live stream, so unfortunately no webcam today. Let's see what else we have in the comments. What makes me confident about all-time high this year? Well, it's mainly that I don't think we're in a bear market. Are we dropping a little bit more now? It's mainly that I don't think we're in a bear market. I just think we're in a correction. And if we're in a correction, look at this. So this is the thing, is like this right now is a buy area in the very low 41,000. But if this breaks, I think we can drop all the way down to the prior swing low, which is at 40.7. And if that breaks, I think we can drop to the other prior low, which is at 39.6. But right now, this is a very clear bear flag where we're moving down, forming the staircase step, getting ready to move down again. This is what I think we're in at the moment. We could go up, we could find resistance and then go down. It would still be a staircase pattern. That's my point. What was the question that I was just answering though? I've just lost it. Hang on. Thoughts on Litecoin? I have no thoughts. Stop telling me about the China bank outlawing crypto. I already know. I've already talked about it in the live stream. Why you guys keep on bringing it up? Thank you for addressing the question. You're very welcome. How about VeChain? I'll take a look at that in a minute. ADA bounced with a lot of strength on this dump. I mean, it bounced off psychological support at $2, so I don't think that's surprising. Have I moved my stop into profit on my Bitcoin trade? That's a good question. I should probably do that. Currently, my stop loss is at break even right here. This is my average entry price on my short position, so very, very close to the top. I don't want to move it yet because there is a very slim possibility that Bitcoin can rise all the way up to here and find resistance and come back down. I definitely don't think that's going to happen, but I think it's possible. The other place that I could move my stop loss down to would be like just in the middle of this big drop, so kind of just above the middle, so maybe like 43.2, something like that could be a good stop loss level. If I get stopped out at 43.2, that is a 15% profit. So it's not huge, but it would, I might just do that, to be honest. I might do it right after this live stream. I might just move my stop loss into profit. Right now it's at break even. I've already made some profits and secured them in this position. But yeah, That's kind of my my take on my stop loss. Just wondering, has Fourflies actually shown his position? Well, I tell you guys about it in every video, so if you pay attention, you'll know that actually I very rarely flip my perspective. It doesn't really happen that way. You just have to pay attention to the videos. Obviously, the titles flip around a little bit, but not my analysis. It just doesn't, and you'd see that if you pay attention to the videos. Obviously, yeah, VIPs have seen my position, and if you want to see where I told VIPs about it, I ate a very small 7.4% loss because actually I closed half of my position at break even, and I didn't even enter the other half of my position. So this was a really small 7.5% loss. This was on my average position size. This was effectively half of that. So about 1.7% loss that I encountered, and then I shorted again at 44.2 and 44.9. And this was the post that I put into Fourflies VIP about it, and I gave them the background on why I was doing that. Bam, there we go. Guys, shoot up the likes if you're finding this live stream useful. I'm your biggest fan. Ah, Suhit, shout out to you. Nice to see you in the comment section. This is how I feel in real life too. This person's talking about how, you know, he only cares about making the money, not about making friends in crypto. I'm the same, man. I'm, you know, I really don't, I don't care about being, you know, holding hands with other weird, sad dudes in this space, and just being happy with everyone, and, you know, and all this weird, you know, and a lot of the crypto community is really weird. Because it's just people who made big money for the first time in their life and don't know what to do with it. You know, I'm not trying to associate myself with them, and that's why I actually actively try to be a contrarian and think against them, and that's why I generally tend to do quite well. You know, and obviously that's the thing, is this is not the place where you're playing a popularity contest. This is not the place where you're trying to make friends. This is just the place where you're trying to make money. Any other industry, you know, you're, I don't know, an artist or something, and obviously working with people can be phenomenal. It can be really, really nice, you know, like a music artist or something. That's quite wholesome. The more you work with people, the better it is. In trading, this is very much a lone wolf thing. You know, when there's things like trading competitions where you compete with each other to see who's making the bigger profits, these ideas are ridiculous because trading is a very internal process. You're constantly fighting your own psychology all the time. It is so difficult. You know, to learn how to do it the first time, and obviously when you get it, it's a lot easier. But you know, it's a very internal process being a trader, in my opinion. And that's why I don't try and, you know, associate myself with others. You know, I mean, you'll see me collaborating with other YouTubers. You'll see me hanging out with people like Carl the Moon and Chris Crypto, Da Vinci, that Martini guy. I love them all. They're really, really nice guys. But at the end of the day, I'm thinking in my own ways. I'm regularly disagreeing with many of them. You know, and it's completely fine because you're allowed to disagree with people. It's trading at the end of the day. You know, I mean, I'm putting my money where I think the market will go, and that's it. All right, let's see what else we have here. What are my thoughts on USDC as a stablecoin? I have no thoughts about it. It's backed by Goldman Sachs. It's backed by Circle, which is backed by Goldman Sachs, so I'm sure it's going to be pretty safe. But I have no thoughts on it. Let's see what else we have here in the comments. Just going through your questions. Dude, okay, you keep on asking about the China crypto ban. You're gonna get blocked in a minute because I've already answered this like twice. And you're just spamming in the comments, and that's just not nice. Am I still keen with Cardano? 100% yes. Time for a buyer? I'm not your financial advisor. Stop asking me for financial advice. Stop it. Naughty. Stop it. I'm not your financial advisor. Stop it. Makes me feel bad because I can't answer your questions. I'd love to help you guys, but I'm not an advisor. So many people don't get that point. They come up to me in real life as well. They're like, "Should I buy Bitcoin?" I'm like, I don't fucking know. Do what you think. You can't put it on me to give you an answer like that. It's too much pressure. It's not fair on me. All right. I think I'm pretty much done with my analysis here, and I've gone through all of your questions, or most of them. So what I'm probably going to do here is, yeah, might call it an end to this stream. I'll probably make a follow-up video at some point later today and update you guys on what's going on. Maybe I'll even do it with Carl the Moon, because I know I'll probably be hanging out with him later today as well. If you guys have any final questions, please drop them here. Otherwise, if you have enjoyed the stream, you know what to do. Likes, subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're on fire in this market. Like I said, 4Flies VIP is discounted right now. Right now, it's rare that we do these discounts. So follow these steps on screen, 25% off, and you can join 4Flies VIP like that. Have I placed a bet with Tone Vase on closing below 40k? I would never bet against Tone Vase. On this occasion, I turned out to be right and he turned out to be wrong, but I would never bet against him because this doesn't happen often. I genuinely think he's a better analyst than me. So is Crypto Kobe. These guys are great. They're far more experienced than me, and that makes them really good traders. Did I ever live in North Devon in the UK years ago? No, I didn't, but for some reason I've picked up a lot of different accents across the world. People on Carl's channel think that I have a Scottish accent, which is really weird, although it is probably because I've been hanging out with a bunch of Scots lately. Fourflies, Bitcoin is breaking 41. Stay on for a bit more. I mean, we already broke $41,000. I don't know why I would stay on if Bitcoin is trying to break it. You know, this is not a time where you sit around and watch the market. You know, you should have already been prepared before this happened, and then you just kind of you go on and live your life. There's no point in watching this right now. You're just gonna gray your hair and become stressed and hurt yourself mentally. There's no reason to watch this right now. That's actually partly the reason that I want to go. I want to stop looking at this. I've already got my position. I'm already in my profit. I have nothing else to do. I just need to wait and get on with my life and then take profits if the market drops lower or close my position if the market rises higher. That's it. That's how trading is in my life. You know, I'm not sitting around here and watching the charts. It's very unhealthy. It's very bad for your mental state. And it's actually quite bad for your trading because you're going to start making moves that are quite undisciplined and poorly planned. That Scottish accent needs to come through more, mate. I actually can't do it very well. I used to be able to do a very good Scottish accent back in the days, but I don't actually notice the other accents. Am I on Carl the Moon's yacht right now? He doesn't own a yacht. I'm not with him. No, I actually left a little bit early because I wanted to do this live stream with you guys. This is my first time joining your channel. I really love your analysis and objectiveness. Well done. Thank you very much, Solomon. You're very welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying it, guys. Can you do an Indian accent for us? Oh, you can't put me on the spot like that. No. Of course I can do an Indian accent. I'm half Indian, but I'm not going to do it. That would be really weird. I was thinking as a joke to just make one entire video in an Indian accent, but at the end of the day, as much as I would love to do stupid stuff because I'm 20 years old, many of you guys are way older than me, and you're just going to think I'm an idiot if I do that. So as much as I would love to, I'm not ready to embarrass myself in front of, you know, 100,000 people like that. 100,000 people, that's a crazy number. Yeah, I'm not really of the mindset to just put on stupid accents for fun in front of a serious audience that wants to know what my thoughts are in a serious way. I honestly think it might even be insulting. I actually used to have an Indian accent. Let me show you guys. Hang on. Let me show you guys my... Actually, I might regret showing this to you. Hang on. Let me see if it's actually a good idea to show. It's a very, very old channel of mine, which I can't delete. And I'm so embarrassed that I can't delete it, but it's funny. It's really funny. Actually, you know what? You should see it. It's really funny. If you guys want to know a little bit more about me, this is my one of my first ever channels. As I said, I'm 20, and I made this channel in 2009, so I would have been, what, like 8 years old, something like that, when I made this YouTube channel. And go to this video, this one right here, 109 views, 11 years ago. This is how I used to sound. I had a really thick Indian accent when I was a kid. Like, I sounded very, very Indian. Um, and actually, the funny story behind this is I used to get bullied for it because England was racist back then. Still is a bit racist, obviously. I mean, it depends on where you go, but everywhere is a little bit racist. But it was very racist back then. In some ways, I mean, obviously I was raised in London, but online when you're talking to people who are from, little towns across England, and they would hear my Indian accent, they would bully me. So I actually prayed to God, to give me a sexy voice. I'm not even joking. I asked God for a sexy voice, and lo and behold, here we are. So that was funny. And then actually, if you go on my current channel and you look at my oldest video on this channel, this is me like 10 years ago. 9 years ago is this video right here, where I mean, this is July 2012, so I would have been, what, like 11, 12 years old or something. Racism will always be a thing in reality. I mean, racism is probably going to be around for quite a bit longer, but it's not really a problem these days anymore. My prayer did come through. Yeah, it's gone very well. Yeah. So there we go, guys. I'm going to call it a live stream there. I'll let you guys enjoy these little videos if you want to see a little bit more about my roots, about my journey. Went from making gaming videos. Oh god, this video is cool. This is when I finally had 3 monitors. I was just making money for the first time in my life 5 years ago. I used to make a lot of tech reviews. I went from, Samsung Galaxy S7 reviews and, just reviewing smartphones like a massive geek. And this was me before. Look at this. This was me asking my viewers 4 years ago, do you want crypto videos from me? That was funny. So yeah, it's been a hell of a journey. I mean, it really has. It's been very cool from all of that to, my god, making videos with my role model. that was pretty cool. Owning a Ferrari inside of like 3-4 years. It's a cool journey. There's a lot of things that a lot of people have been able to learn from it. If you want to see more about, how I've come to where I am, I have a highlight on my Instagram. So click on this link, Instagram, and then there's a highlight on it saying how I got here, and I'm basically outlining a little bit about my journey. But yeah, very, very cool. So anyway, guys, I am going to call it a stream there. Thank you all very much. Thank you for tuning in. Hit up the likes, tick the bell, do all that other good stuff. Half Indian and half what? Half Pakistani. Half Indian, half Pakistani, and raised in London. All right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you all very soon. I'll probably make another update, and enjoy the rest of your day. Don't panic. There's no need to panic. Don't panic sell. I was talking to Carl, and he was telling me, Sammy, you have to remind your viewers not to panic sell. You have to remind your viewers, don't panic about times. And I was saying, but Carl, this is obvious, right? Obviously, you're not going to panic. And he said, no, it's not obvious. And I don't know. Is it not obvious to you guys? To me, it's obvious, right? Maybe it's just because I've sat through so many of these things. But yeah, obviously, look, there's no space to panic. You should have already prepped for this. If you screwed it up this time, that's fine. Just learn how to not screw it up next time, because this is not the last opportunity in the world. We're going to get many more beautiful opportunities to find some really, really nice trades. You might have screwed it up this time. Learn how to not screw it up next time. That's my approach. There's going to be a million more opportunities. There's plenty of fish in the sea, to run with that analogy. I'm showing you how I'm navigating all of this stuff inside of Forflies VIP, but you don't even need this. You just need to, ground yourself, learn about TA, keep a good trading journal, and that would be just as good. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be just as good, but if you can't join VIP, you can't afford it, whatever, you don't have to, is my point. It's not necessary. We've had many people who really wanted to join, but couldn't, and then took the key pointers I'm talking to you about on board. And through that, they were able to raise the capital to join Forflies VIP. And then eventually, when they had more money, they were able to join. A lot of people have done that. How's the Ferrari going? It's very slow, unfortunately. I'm actually, what's my next car in the lineup? What's surprising is I'm maturing a lot. And before I used to really love the crazy, massively fast cars, but then I owned a Tesla Model S P100D, and then I have a GT3 with a manual gearbox, and these are very violent cars. So now I actually want something a little bit more chill, like a Bentley Continental, and I'm looking at you know, potentially. But I don't want to buy a new car at the moment because Bitcoin is just going so well. Okay, yeah, you're definitely getting banned now, mate. These China comments are very annoying. But yeah, I mean, I am enjoying the car. Actually, I haven't driven the Ferrari for quite a while because I haven't been in Dubai for a couple of months. Right now, as you may or may not know, I'm in Monaco with Carl the Moon. I can't do a Crypto Kirby accent. I actually can't pin down what he sounds like. Like his accent is not like any one particular place in the US, as far as I can tell. And it's bugged me for a really long time because I can't tell where he's from. I mean, I could just ask him, but, you know, I want to not have to ask him. I want to be able to guess it. It's like a national holiday every year. China bans Bitcoin. That's very funny. It's not even every year though. It's like every few months. You know, it's just whenever Bitcoin approaches resistance, bam, we're banning it. It's so convenient. I mean, it's obvious market manipulation. But you don't need. This is the thing: is you don't need me to tell you it's market manipulation because at the end of the day, the analysis is still the same. There happens to be market manipulation happening at key market tops. But we don't need to be aware of that. I mean, it is happening, and if you want to be aware of it, you can be aware of it, but I choose to put my energy into real life and just do my technical analysis, not my real life analysis, because I don't think that's useful in these markets. You know, I'll do my TA, and then I'll move back to the rest of my life. And I'm trying to keep, you know, by design, I'm trying to keep a very limited involvement from my side in these markets, because that enables me to stay quite unbiased. It enables me to stay quite objective. A lot of people, they make the mistake of thinking that the more time they put into this, the more research they put into this, the more books they read about this, the more money they're going to make. That's generally not how it goes in my experience. You might have different results, but for me, that's how it's been. It's actually the less I involve myself, the more hands-off I am, the better I tend to do. A lot of you guys will have experienced this where you'll realize that, man, if I had just not touched my money, I would be making so much more. I know so many people who had a bunch of crypto and they sold it at bad times, and if they just didn't do anything, they would be millionaires by now. I mean, a lot of stories. Many of you guys listening right now are in that position. I know this for a fact. It's so common. I've had this problem too. Okay, long live stream. Besides Kirby, Tone Vase, and Carl, is there anyone else I follow? I should clarify that I don't actually watch Carl. Well, I do it on occasion, but it's very rare. I only watch Tone Vase and Crypto Kirby. And it's not that I have anything against Carl, it's just that it's this classic saying of too many ingredients, you know, spoil the pot. Carl is the same. In fact, every YouTuber that I know of is the same. They don't really watch any other YouTubers, and I think that's a good thing. You know, the more people you watch, the more confused you're gonna be. For the most part, you shouldn't have to watch anybody. I mean, I only watch Tone Vase and Crypto Kirby. Well, partly because their analysis is great, and partly because it tunes me into the right thinking frequencies, but partly because I just like them and I want to support them. You know, but for the most part, I honestly think I would be a better trader if I didn't pay attention to anything at all, and I think most people would be better like that. I mean, you know, there's a little bit of initial learning you need to do. That's why I, you know, position things like VIP, because that solves it for a lot of people, and they never need to go through the pain again. You know, when they join VIP a lot of the time, and they, you know, go throughout, you know, Fortifly's Academy course, which comes for free with a lot of those memberships. But then, you know, when you know these things, there's no need to watch people anymore. It's just going to spoil your own analysis. That's my honest approach. Is there's a learning curve you need to get over, but as soon as you're over it, there's no reason to watch people anymore, in my opinion. Actually, I shouldn't have said that, because I'm basically telling you not to watch me. But at the end of the day, yeah, this channel is about honesty, not convenience. Okay, I really am going to go now. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Once again, likes, subscribe, tick the bell. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you want to know where I'm trading, it's all happening on Bybit. There's a referral bonus where you can get some free money, some free cash deposited into your account, free, just by using my link in the description down below. When you use my link in the description and you make a deposit, you're going to be getting a free deposit back as a reward. So there you go. And then, of course, if you want to gain access to VIP with our 25% discount, it's available right now. All right, guys. See you all in the next video. Have a good